Hey y'all, it's Tara from Tara's Traveling Paints. I'm gonna paint today, which is really cool. I actually, I was going on to Amazon to pick up some polymer clay for my granddaughter. That's her gig right now. So her birthday's coming up and I was like, oh, I got a tiny bit of extra money, like 30 bucks. Let me see what I can do. I need to add to the present, you know what I mean? Instead of waiting till the last minute and being like, oh gosh. So I have been living on basically dollar store paints. I do have some Amsterdam lamp black and Amsterdam titanium white, but the rest of it is pretty cheap paints. Now, that's not the end of the world at all, actually. It's pretty awesome to have them, you know, and to be in driving distance to go get them. That's one thing I really, really, really super miss about where I lived in New Hampshire is that there were art stores right there. Also, I missed about in Maine, I was able to get some art supplies pretty nice. And even the affordable stuff at Job Lots. That Job Lots that I had in New Hampshire was stocked with beautiful equipment, beautiful canvases and all that fun stuff. So I've been doing Dollar General, a little bit of Dollar Tree. I do have some stuff from Walmart that's actually really nice. You can even buy it at like Home Depot. Those are the color shifts. I love them. I love them. And so I went onto Amazon and I picked up a couple of things for my granddaughter. And I was like, okay, well, look at that price. And the month isn't over and you'll be able to get some more. So that's a good start. So I started where I started. I got her a peacock green, some people call it blue, polymer clay, and a black, and a big chunk, not just the little tiny things. And I decided to take a look at my playlist, not my playlist, what do you call it? My shopping list, my wish list. I have it in my, I believe in my channel description. I put it in a lot of the videos underneath if you wanted to take a look at the stuff that I desire, and maybe you want to support the channel and help me get some stuff. It's fine. Either way, it at least gives you ideas of some of the things that I'm working on, that I want, and that can help you in your artistic journey, because having an idea of where to start is a really good thing. So I went onto my list and I was like, huh. I'm going to show you. I think I paid $5.99 for this. Don't know how great it's going to be. But look at them beautiful, beautiful swiping tools. It's from Art. I think that's how you say it. And the last time I bought swiping tools on Amazon, I bought big ones. And one of them was bent. I don't even think I have those anymore. If I do, they're in storage still. And I was like also upset, but whatever. So I'm gonna open these up, and I don't know if I'm even gonna use them today, but none of them are bent. They're all gonna do the job, and it's really great to have them, and I'm excited. So that's one of the things I grabbed for myself. And I'm just gonna put them. I'm gonna put them down over here because I probably will use them. And also at the dollar store, I believe the little paints that I buy are like $3. And I'm like, I don't like paying that much money for 2 ounces of paint. Like that's ridiculous. So I had looked at one of the. I like to buy paint collections because a couple of reasons. Because it's interesting to work with a different medium than I'm used to, or whatever. And I like those little those 2 ounce bottles. If you remember way back in the day when I first started showing my art on YouTube, I had like drawerfuls of them, drawers full of them, and man, I learned how to stretch a paint and make it go and make it go, and I fell in love with it. So although I'd rather have 16-ounce containers, I decided to go ahead and get myself a 24 set. And it's called outdoor acrylic paint. So what that means is they're natural colors, nothing too crazy. I'm really excited about it. And so what I did when I got them, you can't even see me, is it had a little sheet inside, and all those little squares are blank. So I opened every one of them and stuck my finger in them. And I also did that to the tops of the paint. So it would be easy for me to grab what I'm looking for and keep me kind of like accountable and make sure they don't get all messed up. So, super excited about that. That was not, it came to less than $1 a bottle. So I'm thinking I've spent $19.99 or something like that on this 24 set. And the paint is nice. I used it already on a canvas, what is it, canvas board painting that I did. I put the reel up recently. It's really pretty. And I did that without water. I just used it. And I was happy with that. So, I said I need to acrylic pour. This is important. I have been doing a lot of art journaling, which has been very, very awesome, and also given me a lot of inspiration and excitement. And I've also been trying to practice Neurographica with fluid paint. And I have one masterpiece, the other one I'm still not sold on, but it's on the wall, so I look at it to determine if I'm going to do something different with it. So far, it's what it is. The other piece I love, and I'm shocked that I love it. But I'm not going to practice Neurographica today. I am going to probably pull some of what I'm learning from it as far as my own intuition in art and apply it. So this is going to be a paint therapy session. This is like I don't even know. It's like 4 videos ago. It's a 16 by 20. I've sat with it long enough. I'm good. There's qualities I like, but it's just so blah. It's basically, even though there's some beautiful teal marks in here, it's basically mud as far as I'm concerned. So we're gonna paint over it. What I did to prepare that is I washed it with dish soap. I know I don't use silicone ever anymore. It's a long time. But I wanted to get the canvas really wet, and I had sanded it lightly with a little block sander because there had been gobbledygooks in this. But I don't think that's going to be an issue with this painting. I am going to swipe my little brains out. So let me turn on the light and give you the names. I wrote the names of the colors down that I use so that we can do that. I am using Burgee Yellow Gray, Crimson Red, Cobalt Blue, and there's something else, and I didn't write that down. Oh, what do we got? Oh, just a lemon yellow. Lemon yellow. I also still had some paints left over from the last time, which is like a metallic-y lavenderish, metallic-y bluish, and a metallic green. So we're going to use all that. We're going to use gray house paint. That's from an Oops that I got last year, so it's a year old. And this is blue house paint. I put too much water in here, so I don't even know if I'm going to use that at all. But we're going to go ahead and get down to this. And what I'm going to do to save you from my long-winded, crazy talk, I'm going to take a look at the reel. If I get bothered by how long it is, I will speed it up and do a voiceover. If not, we're going to just play. All right? So let me go ahead and get you all in. Okay, so we're going on an adventure here with a redo. That's a 16 by 20 canvas. I have washed it in the sink even though I know I didn't use any silicone on it. Getting myself set up a little bit better. Showing you an old piece. I'm doing a voiceover in case you didn't notice. I've got that house paint. Gray house paint mixed with water. First time I mixed it with anything. And I choose to spread it around with a spatula for whatever reason. Just kind of getting in the groove of it. I've been doing a lot of art with different mediums lately, doing like an art journal. And that's probably the influence I have with that spatula on there. Lots of bubbles, even though it's a couple hours since I mixed it. And I go ahead and start a little puddle. And I decide I'm going to need a much bigger puddle than that. I'm working with quite a few paints here. I think it was 8 total, plus the cell activator. And I'm just going to get started. And you will see some drastic changes. I was going to actually scrape this entire thing. You'll see in a second. It just started to become mud, and what I didn't do was take the time to make sure everything was just right to do a proper swipe. I was just very eager to get my hands dirty, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to go in with a bunch of those different little swipe tools using my Amsterdam Titanium White and Floetrol. And I just go in and get started. Now, right away, I'm loving the lacing, loving it. But I'm quickly realizing the way that base paint is, I'm not going to be able to stretch this and make this stay or make it even better. It's not going to happen. I'm already understanding that. And I'm getting nervous. In the original video, I was talking about how nervous I was the whole time until we get to the catharsis stage, basically. I go in with a couple more things. I'm feeling like I could keep trying the swiping technique, even though none of the paint is prepared for that. Number one thing I did not get that base paint to the same consistency or just slightly thicker. Also, my only medium that I had to add to water was glue wall, and that's not the best for swiping at all. That's actually more for what's going to come. You'll see. So I start tilting it, and you see what happens? I'm like, oh no. Oh no, oh no, I don't like that. But at the same time, I didn't hate it. Especially you've been working with watercolors lately, getting those little drips on purpose is really fun. So I'm like just stroking it, trying to figure out what can I do. Because I just feel like I'm just making mud. I'm all sorts of freaked out by it. And then when I pour this way, I'm really unhappy. I'm like, oh, no, thank you. I try to pour back. I get it kind of back in the center a little bit. However, I'm knowing in my heart of hearts, this is not what I was hoping for today. And I was really ready to scrape this paint and just turn it into a brown. I still had about half left of everything. I try to push that white around a little bit more. I start making this painting very textured because that house paint is so thick. And I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work out for me. I know I'm going to have to scrape it because that texture is not something you're going to want to dry and try to paint over. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to do something else. I'm going to keep going and figure out where I'm going. Let the paint tell me where it's going, because here we are, and I'm determined, really determined. I kind of move some stuff around with spatulas, nothing crazy. Just a little touch, a little move. I really got excited when I did that yellow. I felt like that came out really great. If you were closer, you could see the big giant cells were coming up from that yellow. Not cells, boulders. So I'm like, what? Oh, let me just splatter some stuff here. And I decide I'm not going to scrape this painting. I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to go, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to use all the paint that I have up. And I'm going to let this girl dry. See how she handles that. Put it on the wall once it's dry and keep looking at it a lot. And then decide if I need to go in with another medium to do any kind of work to it. I decided to go full Jackson Pollock on this guy. Well, not really. It's not quite Jackson Pollock, but it made me think of him, so that means that's good. I really have a lot of fun with this. I've got paint all over my floor. I've got to scrape it. I know I'm not going to be doing any more of that, so I moved the spatulas out of the way. And I continue to use up the rest of my paint. And I keep going. And I am actually pretty excited. The vibes are just wild. And the texture on this painting, I have a feeling when it dries, it's going to make me very happy. So, guys, the moral of the story is, if you don't get prepared correctly, you might not be able to pull off the composition you're going for. But that doesn't mean it's the end. It means you just have to move in another direction with grace. All right, we're right above it now. I wonder which way I'm going to like it orientated. I think I'm going to like it horizontal. Let's get in there and see if I can focus. Will it go? It's not going to let me get too close. I shouldn't have started you up so high. But I'll make a short for YouTube. You can look at that way if you want. I'll be hyper up close for that. See those little ghost cells? That's adorable. That little orangey color happening, that is really pretty. See the green, how it's kind of ghostly? There's some really interesting things going on. Kind of excited about it, guys. Let's look at it from this end. I think that's the way I'm going to want to orientate it on the wall. But we will see. I might even go in later with a different medium and make mixed media. But thank you so much for hanging out with me, playing with some new paints, some spatulas. I'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much.